Good thing I had the lipstick on.
Okay, it's a great opportunity to be going to talk to Christina about everything related to the psychic medium and the tarot cards. Christina, could you please introduce yourself and what you are doing and where you are located right now?
Sure. My name is Christina Maria Leifsdotter. I'm Swedish, but I grew up in Australia and I studied in Belgium. And since 2 months back, I'm living in Malta.
That's
great
fantastic.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, please continue. What about your business?
Yeah. What is my business? Well, I can start with the fact that I do have a business degree. And so, yeah, I'm a bit of an entrepreneur, a bit. I am an entrepreneur as well. And but my dharma or my life path is to help people. And this branch, this mode of business is considered quite suspect by a lot of people, by people who don't understand partially, but also unfortunately there have been a lot of jokers, that have taken payment for services that they haven't been able to fulfill. So it's not unwarranted really, but I try my best to instill confidence in my clients. Yeah, and they will consult me. Primarily about love questions. 90% of my clients are women, and it's about love. But the other 10%, they're men, and it's about their businesses. Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, so let's go to the basics. Can you define what is a psychic medium, number one?
What is a psychic medium? Well, a psychic is somebody that can feel things and with the help of their intuition, make analysis and deductions. A medium is more somebody who takes contact with spirit. So like I told you before, if you come to me and you say you want to speak to your grandmother, I say, well, that's great. I will ask her to come. I can't guarantee that she will come, but I can guarantee that somebody will. Yeah.
And
to
how,
give you some message.
Yeah. How do you do that, Christina?
Well, to explain the technicalities, that's beyond me. But I do know that I get the information. I see pictures, so that's a form of clairvoyance, clear seeing. And I will see pictures, and also in my training, it's included that I have to give proof, if you'd like. And so I would have to explain to you that I have a woman here. She looks like this and that. And often they would give me their age when they've passed, and also maybe I will feel that they had a heart attack or something. I can feel that in my body. That's clairsentient. So there's a combination of things that come in there. And then they will give me information, and spirit does have a sense of humor. And they do insist on giving me names that I get wrong, but I have to give them. In any case, I have to give them. So yeah, that's in short. And then you have to say, oh yeah, that's my grandmother. Or, oh no, that's the woman who was our neighbor when I was growing up. So it can be very wide.
When was the most surprising, unusual, or extraordinary situation you had with a spirit?
I think when I was going out on my first job to clear a house that was haunted. And I was really scared. I've always been scared of the dark. I'm a bit of a chicken when it comes to these things. And what happened was that the night before, I was laying in bed and I was really scared. And I'm thinking, light, look after me, please. Praying. And it was awful. And then I came to this place and it was really as awful as it had felt the night before. But it was the first time and I had nothing to refer to it. I had nothing to compare with it. And yeah, I got some really bad energies and I helped them over to the other side, and then the next bad energy, and I helped them over to the other side, and they just kept coming and coming and coming. I thought, this is quite crazy. Something's happened here, I told this woman, and she was smart enough to go to I don't know what that would be called in English, but like an institute that keeps historical records of things that have happened in the local area. And it turned out that just a few meters away from where she was living, there was a big field where Danish soldiers had been buried, like about 100 of them. So these are what you might call then tormented souls, that they've died under a very horrible circumstances. And often what happens with spirits when they die in that way, in accidents or very sudden diseases, they will they get confused, and they might be in what people call, or what we call limbo. So they're in nowhere. They're not here on earth, and they haven't come up to spirit either. But the interesting thing there is that they seem to know who they can go to, either for that person to help them themselves, or for that person to call somebody in to help them. Yeah. So I went back the next day.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Christina. Go ahead.
Yeah. I went back the next day and I tried to complete the job. It wasn't the next day. It was when we found this out. So maybe 5 or 7 days. I don't know. Yeah.
How many times were you called?
Sorry, what were you about to ask?
Yeah, it's okay. How many times were you called to help?
It doesn't happen all that often, but I don't know. I can't tell you how often. Maybe, I don't know, once a year or something. It really doesn't happen often. Yeah. And there's also some mediums, they don't mind. They find it interesting to go into traumatic situations. Maybe somebody's been murdered or abducted or something. I keep away from those energies. I'm too scared. I want to work with light. And in the case of these dead soldiers, because I lived in Sweden, this was in southern Sweden, and southern Sweden once belonged to Denmark. So that's how come they were there, and they were there to defend their country. And then you can think, well, that's really terrible, war and soldiers, and yeah, for sure. But they're also, it didn't feel as wrong as going into a murder situation, a typical murder situation. No.
Okay. You mentioned earlier that you can support your manner or your method by scientific evidence. What kind of science is behind this practice?
Well, it's very interesting. I can't explain who or how, but I know Stephen, who just passed away, quantum physics can explain this, but I can't explain quantum physics. So that's a bit of a problem. Stephen Hawking, yeah, a great quantum physician. No, that's Swedish. Physician? No. You know what I mean. What he did, you know the man, and yeah, and his work, and all those other people who work with quantum physics, quantum physics.
Yeah. Okay, my question is, how do you prove this to the client? What do you tell the client to support your method?
I don't try to prove it. I think everybody is free to think what they want. It's not my job to convince people. Really, it's not. It's my job to help people. So when people come and they seek me out and they want my help, I'm there, 100%. It's not my job to run around and say, oh, but you know, you have to think like this and you have to think blah, 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 blah. No, it's not my job.
You also said that, okay, that's great. You also said that most women come to you looking for love, while why do you think that happens?
Well, because love's important. Relationships are important. And for some reason, women are more likely to consult a medium in these questions. Love's important for men too, but I don't know why that is. It's a difference between men and women. But on the other hand, when it's in business, and business always requires a certain amount of risk, etc., etc. then they find it easier to talk to somebody like that, to a medium. How's it going to work out? Yeah.
Okay, so my question, yeah, go ahead, Christina.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
no,
so the other part of the question, like men usually ask about business.
Yes.
So my basic question is like, do these questions reflect the true nature of both women and men? Like women are always looking for love while men are always looking for business, and then there is some kind of link between love and the business?
No, I don't think so. But I think it's just the way it turns out, that men are more likely to go to a medium with these kinds of questions, whereas women are more concerned about their relationships, and if they've just met somebody or they're having problems with their husband, whatever, then they want to consult somebody like me to get some advice and clarity, for sure. Yeah. And men just do it in different areas. Sorry?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, what are the different or the types of recommendations you give to women in these situations?
Well, first of all, I don't give any. I just tell them what the tarot cards, or the tarot cards are my tool, but what spirit wants them to know. That's very important. I don't sit there like a goddess, do this, do that, da 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 da. Never, can't do that. It's not me. I'm just the tool, and so are the tarot cards.
What about men?
Same situation there. I can't. It's not me. It's spirit, and I am a channel, and the cards are a tool.
Let's go to the cards. How do you use the cards, and what are these cards?
Right. There's 72 of them.
Okay.
And yeah, so and they're divided into the minor and the major arcana. So the minor arcana has cards from ace, 2, 3, etc., up to prince, princess, queen, and king in 4 suits. They're staves, they're swords, they are pentacles, and they're cups. So these also reflect the 4 elements within astrology. So there are coupling. I can't speak English tonight. There's a connection there between astrology and tarot, the tarot card. But the major arcana, if I remember correctly, they're 21. I'm not sure. I think it's 21 cards. No, it's 22, because the first one is this one, 0. So there are 22 cards in the major arcana, and they mean different things. There are classic meanings to those cards, and then there's also my meaning to those cards, because I've had my tarot deck, the Goddess Tarot, for close to 20 years, and so they've taught me, or Spirit has taught me through the cards. So sometimes I have, my meanings are a little bit different. So this one, for example, that was interesting. Thank you very much, Spirit. 2 cards fell out before we started speaking. One of them is this one, the Moon, and it's number 18 in the major arcana. And people will talk about, a lot of other mediums, they will talk about shadow work and getting in touch with our dark side, or there's things hidden. For me, it's just parents. Yeah.
Okay.
Parenthood, because it's sentiment and it's attached to the cup suit. So where there are feelings and parenthood and etc. So that's an example of.
Okay. Can you show us some other cards?
Yeah. You have this one, the Fool. I can't really see in that little picture what I'm showing you. You have to tell me if I have to move them. Can you see this card?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So this is called the Fool, and he is normally in classic tarot cards is represented by the Joker. No, but these cards they come from the Middle Ages in Italy and France. I think they were used a lot too. But in my tarot deck, this major arcana, the Fool, is represented by a Buddha, a female Buddha called Tara. And she stands, like you saw there, for beginnings, new start. And when it comes up in reverse, because that's the thing too with tarot cards, that they have two meanings in it, but often they're very simple. So a new start, a new life cycle, a new maybe a deepening of a relationship, and this would be the opposite. Things are starting to wind up to an end. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another card would be great.
What star sign are you? When is your birthday?
5th of January.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's you.
Can you move it? Card. Can you move it to the middle? No, the opposite side. More.
That way.
No, the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it
now.
now.
Stop. Yeah. So that's the King of Pentacles. So he represents a Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus. So there you have it. You're a Capricorn.
What does it do?
Yeah, what does it do? Well, it doesn't do anything, but it has the symbolism. It has a meaning. The earth signs are connected to the King and Queen of Pentacles. So here we have, in particular, you as a no, if we say general first, earth signs are very dependable, very loyal, very conscientious, and very caring about their families, very nurturing. Capricorn also is all that, but Capricorn is also very ambitious. And sorry about the noise.
It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead. It's fantastic. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Capricorn is also very ambitious, and they are the ones that reach the top of their careers, or you and your buddies. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ambitious?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, good.
I'm doing my best. Okay, now let's go a little deeper. Let's say I'm a customer of yours, and I'm asking about usually the question that men ask about my business.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you do?
Do you have a business?
I am beginning to have a business.
Oh, cool. Well, let's have a look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to do that in the video. Does it feel a bit too sensitive, maybe?
Okay.
We'll have a look.
Yeah. Can we have a
look at a businessman? Yeah, we'll look at a businessman. So first I have to shuffle the cards. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I shuffle them and I twist them so that, because I'm not very professional, I've only done it for 20 years. I find shuffling really difficult. So I just mess them up.
Okay.
So that every card has the opportunity to fall upright or reverse, right?
Okay.
And then we'll mix a bit and we'll ask this question. How is the business going to go? This is going to be difficult. I don't think you're going to be able to see the card.
You can show it to the camera.
Yeah, but there are a lot of cards. If I do that, can you see the bedspread here?
Yeah, I can see.
You will unfortunately have to look at it in reverse, but I'll do my best.
Okay.
You can at least see them. So I think there's something like 27 cards that go down on the table.
Okay.
And then after that, I have to look at it for clarity. But with that said, not all cards are relevant. I know what the question is. It has to do with this man's business, and that's what I have to focus on. So this man has quite a young company. I can see that already. I'll go back and show you how and why. Yeah, he's a very spiritual person too. But here you have the young company. The company is a prince, because what I showed you before, that I didn't say it then, I just talked about the people. But the King of Pentacles is also a symbol for a company. So this one's definitely a newly started company, and the cards around here say, and it's time. I think maybe the planning's been a long
Yeah, Christina, move the card a little lower. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. and this business person has been a little bit unsure about if they're right for this job. But the cards say absolutely they're right for this job. So this card here, no, it should be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the goddess Juno. She was a Roman goddess, and the name is tradition, because it was to her that the Roman women went.
Christina, okay. Can you move your head a little lower, or you come closer to the phone? Yeah, perfect.
All right. So this young company is under very good protection. That's what they're saying. It's time. Also, did I say that? It's time now.
Okay.
And these feelings of insecurity and not being that sure about going into this line of business, it's passing. It's passing. That's just a way of the card saying that this businessman has moved out of his comfort zone.
Okay.
Right? All right. I also see that this businessman is an energy worker.
Move it a little to
really
the
cosmic.
to the middle.
I forget.
Yeah. Go ahead. It's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So an energy worker, and then you think, well, what is an energy worker? Well, an energy worker is a person who can. I usually give this example, who can walk into a room filled with people, and maybe the feeling's a bit low and not very good. But when this person enters the room, boom, 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 the energy lights up, the vibes get a lot lighter. So this businessman has that capacity. And I'm not at all sure, but what line of business they're in, but I see two very interesting cards. Can you see them?
Yeah, a little.
This one.
Yeah, in the middle. Yeah, a little higher, a little higher. Higher. Perfect. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, excellent.
All right. So this card, it's called the Sun, and it's a card for artistry. So very. It can also symbolize children, actually. But unless the businessman is working with children, private school or something, I think it has to do with artistry. And this is the artisan. This one, the Four of Pentacles. Now they both come up in reverse, so that tells me that, well, there's some work to be done. Okay, it's okay. Did you get seasick? Did you get seasick? Right. But the groundwork or whatever, the platform for this business is artistry and artisanship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or is it too? Yeah, maybe. And then the energy worker is who is going to get it to function. I don't know what the line of business is. That does make a difference when you have a specific person, because then I would ask them.
Oh yeah.
What do you? I would tell them first what I see with the artistry and the artisan. And I would possibly give examples, like that could be a restaurant or it could be a school or something like that. And then I would ask them what line of business they're in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Simple. Yeah. This businessman, I don't know, well, I say businessman, it could actually be a woman that has this business. Can you see this?
Okay.
It's the Queen of Pentacles, like yours was the King. So either she's a companion with her husband, or else she's on her own. I think she might be on her own. And there's so much love and passion in this woman. And that's the fuel, huh? Is passion and wanting to do things in a certain way or achieve things. I'm sorry, I'm going to have a cough attack. Excuse me. So if we go back to these two cards that seem so very important, and it's turned out that they probably are, because here we have language and the structure of language. If you think of the grammar as the artisan work, It's right ways, wrong ways, better ways, and worse ways. And for me, that's like mathematics. When I go into grammar, it's so abstract and I don't understand it, but I speak 2 languages fluently and a third helpfully. Without that, so this is interesting because this is the handicraft. What is the grammar and how are you going to lay out the grammar? Now the artistry comes in here because it takes a good imagination to keep students interested in their course, right? So you can't talk about just anything. You have to talk about something, and at the same time, you have to keep it on the right level for the student, depending on how advanced they are in their language. Oh.
Yeah, that has been awesome, Christina. That's a great.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It
good
is.
to hear. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What else would you like to add about your work, about your life?
My work is a privilege. I feel very blessed to be able to do my job. I help people, and it's wonderful. And yeah, I feel very privileged.
Well, what do you think? Yeah, excuse me, Christina. What do you think the people don't understand about your job?
I think a lot of people who don't believe it, who think it's just humbug. And then, of course, I fall into the category of thief. But even then, I don't go into trying to defend myself. I just let people think whatever they want. I know I do a good job for the people who need me. That's enough for me. Others can think whatever. But I'm always open to being questioned. That's a different thing. And I might add here, I'm a human. So there's error in this work too. If we understood how it actually functioned, maybe Stephen Hawkins can help me next life. If we understood how it works, then we could avoid those mistakes. But human error is a part of it. And normally I would say if the information that the client gets is 75 to 80% correct, then I'm doing a good job. Yeah.
So
but you have to accept.
Yeah, my other question now, my other question is, like now the people in the developed world are most related and most working with technology, machines, industry. It's all about advancement and materialism. Why are people turning to spiritual and psychic help?
Because I think there's a very strong need in all of us for the spiritual side to look at that and to develop ourselves. Then I could also go into the politics of the whole thing and say, well, we live in a patriarchy. So the patriarchy keeps us on the road of technology, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's opening up. I think we're going into the age of Aquarius. And I think this COVID situation has to do with that as well. It's just to get us on our psychological knees to understand what we are doing to the world, and in that process, even to ourselves. Yeah. Does that answer your question, or did I fly away? Yeah.
So how would you put your line of business in a higher position in the society? What do you need?
For it to have more credit, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe if people weren't, if people were comfortable with going out public and saying, well, I've had a consultation with that woman. It was really cool. And most of it was correct, but people are not inclined to do that. Yeah. I think a lot of people, that's not the same for everyone, but a lot of people, they keep it very secret and to themselves that they've consulted a medium.
And why don't you think about finding a solution for this issue? What can you do about it?
No, but I'm not interested. I'm an Aquarian in that sense. I let people think what they want. That's not my job. My job is not to convince others of what I'm doing. My job is to help. That's it. That's where I put my energy. That's where I put my focus. And also on building my business. That's large part of my focus as well. But not to go out and preach and convert people. No, Christians have done that enough. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah, that's great. What would you like to tell others now?
When it comes to trusting a medium, or is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I know for sure if you feel the need to go to a medium, you will know within minutes if they are a serious medium or not. And if you feel that this isn't good, don't hesitate to say thank you very much, but I'm leaving now, and find another person.
Yeah, is there another?
Sometimes that
yeah, go ahead, Christina. Sorry, go ahead.
Sometimes that can have to do with chemistry as well. So a client comes and it's just wrong. Sometimes it happens to me, not very often, fortunately, but sometimes I just feel, ooh. And of course, that client isn't going to feel very confident with me. But it's not, it's more, I was thinking of psychics who aren't, that just want to take money and cheat you. But don't hesitate to go.
Are there other ideas or misconceptions in the people's minds that you would address or speak to now?
Yeah, people think they know what's happening. People think they understand, and people can be very critical. I had a client the other night. She wanted a consultation, and we decided on a time, and she didn't call, so I called her back, and she said, "Oh, but I'm at work." And others have done this by messenger. I said, "Well, I don't work very well like that. it's not my thing. I need the human energy in my ear or in front of me, and then my work's good." But sure, I said, I'll give it a try. And it went flat as a pancake. And then she's annoyed with me, even though I told her already. So it's like, they don't know, they don't understand the technicalities any more than I do. I just have experience and know that from experience that works better for me to have somebody live energy in the ear or in front of me. But then they feel that I did a really bad job. Well, they can think that if they want, but it's sad. Instead of giving me the chance then because that's what I suggested. How about we talk? No? Yeah, you can't do anything about that.
When was your best feedback from your customers?
Best feedback. I'm very lucky to get good feedback often, because people feel when you're genuine, and they might not feel when you're wrong until afterwards. But that's often the case too, that, well, somebody said the other day, you knew exactly who I was going to marry, or, yeah, you told me I would have a daughter in this month, etc. So I get a lot of nice feedback.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It has been more than a great opportunity talking to you, Christina. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate and I really thank your great ideas and a great heart and a great efforts with the psychic medium. Thank you so much for your time.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much for contacting me.